It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey. Bryce.
Yes. And also we have the Merman. The Merman's back?
The Merman's back.
Hey, Murray. What have you been doing?
Working my ass off.
Yeah.
For little or no money.
He used to have a huge ass. Now it is gone.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Sans ass. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And we'll watch it if it played anywhere in a cinema in the world. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Thanks for that, Mr. Movie Phone. Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Oh, that felt good. Bryce just slid that in my slot. What would Amazing Murman predict? What would Amazing Murman predict? What would Amazing Murman predict for this week? What would Amazing Murman predict? What would Amazing Murman predict?
All right, sir. I'm excited.
Are you?
I am.
I'm super excited. This is a bit of a mixed bag of tricks this week.
It
Is
is.
it really?
Yeah.
On a side note, I have no idea why you put these movies in the order that you put them in. It just makes absolutely no sense. But
That's why I did it.
anyways,
That's the order I saw.
you should have done it reverse order. The last one should have been first, then the first one should have been last.
Well, that's on your opinion.
No, that's just logic. It's known as logic, Jim.
There's no such thing as logic.
Anyways, what did the Merman predict?
Well, for the first time in probably a month, I actually went to movies.
Yes!
Did you see everything?
No,
Oh.
We saw 2, I believe.
more on that later.
All
Okay.
right.
First one up, Next Goal Wins from Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Man.
I was actually looking forward to this.
Mm.
But
Mm.
I can imagine you guys liked it any better than I did.
What? What are you talking about?
It's Taika.
It's a sports movie.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's Taika
It's a sports
Waititi.
Bryce
dog
loves
movie.
starting.
I do. Well, I like.
But
some.
remember, you're not supposed to predict
Yeah.
based on you seeing it. You're supposed to predict on the trailer.
Well, I saw the trailers too, but
Right. So what did
Okay,
you predict
so
after you
what?
saw the trailer?
well, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to rage about it.
Okay.
You think they both are rage? You realize that
Yes.
his being undoubted is on the line right now.
Also, more about that later.
Mm.
You're jumping ahead of yourself here.
Oh.
Thanksgiving
Yes.
Yes.
by Eli Roth,
Yes.
one of the kings of horror.
Yes.
Because it's a horror movie, I think Jim maybe would have given it a meh.
Okay.
I think Bryce probably raged about it.
Raged. Okay.
Interesting.
That is
And
interesting.
The Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Ooh.
The prequel nobody asked for.
That's
Ah.
right. They didn't.
I can't imagine you guys like that at all. It's
Really?
got to be a rage.
Gotta be a
Gotta
rage.
be a rage.
Interesting.
If you guys liked any of those, I'd be totally shocked.
Really?
Okay. This is awesome. I miss you so much, Mur.
Yeah.
All right. I am intrigued by those predictions.
You know, if you remember the last time Merman did predictions, it was pretty on point. I think he almost bought it 1,000.
Almost.
And the sounds of the songbird in our background is Bryce's dog who had his wiener cut off. So
Yes, and he's letting us know that he's
letting
not
us know
happy
he's
about
not
it.
happy about his wiener.
So, yeah, I'm not sure why he's whining, but, well, I guess, if I had my wiener. It's not his wiener, by the way. It's his balls.
Oh,
we didn't
whatever.
cut his wiener
Oh, you
off.
didn't cut everything off?
No, just
I don't know what happens
little
to
incision.
dogs.
They pulled the balls through the abdomen. They came out, and that was that.
I'm glad that you gave our listeners that extra piece of
Yeah, I'm
information.
sure everyone's better off than knowing that.
But more on that when we
if
talk
you do
about
hear some
Thanksgiving.
if you do hear some whining in the
In the back street?
I mean, if you
in
get a
the
constant barking
background,
for the
it's
next 45 minutes.
It's just my little poopy Baxter. He's got his football.
Ballless Baxter.
There we go.
All right, well, let's see what Bryce actually thought of Next Goal Wins.
All right, so I got to flip through my notes because I was so sure that this would be like the last thing that we did. So I got to go all the way and find out.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Why? It makes no sense, but okay,
I
whatever.
don't even know if any of this is going to make sense to me.
Okay.
All right, so Next Goal Wins. Taika Waititi's latest follows the formula of every underdog sports movie ever made. It's this type of unoriginal tripe that should land on the pile of so many films before it. And yet, because of the characters that Waititi has presented, the film gets elevated as we get to know the American Samoan soccer team and the others from the island. We start to care. And once you start to care in this type of film, you kind of get swept away in the emotion that every character is experiencing. From the troubled coach to the former player seeking redemption to the trans player to the little fat kid who ran the practice from time to time to every single other character in the film, I kind of cared about them all. I laughed with them, experienced their joy as well as their despair. On that level, Waititi succeeded. But this is pretty paint by numbers as far as underdog sports movies go. Kinda unoriginal. I'm torn on this as it was pretty darn entertaining. But I must admit, I expect a little more originality from Waititi. I really like this movie, but judging this film, taking everything into account, I regrettably have to say it was meh. A super entertaining meh, but a meh nevertheless.
Okay. Well,
Super entertaining.
but
It's a super entertaining meh, but it's a meh. It's not a fine film.
But Murray, this is one of those things that my dislike of sports movies. Bryce has something it's like a lens that he has over his whole aura when he watches a sports movie. I think it's because he likes sports.
The thing is, I
movies.
love sports movies. So I'm the complete opposite. I'll put up with a lot for a sports movie. Anyway.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what I thought about this. So first off, sports movies, you all know my thoughts on them. It is either Rocky 1 or Rocky 2 ending, and they're usually your rage. Can Taika Waititi change this?
That's the question.
Well, unlike most sports movies, this has its humor. It's got that over-the-top Taika type humor, which at first kind of annoyed me. But then I accepted it for what it was, because he has an ability to be funny. Although, in this, it's not really that funny, actually. I'll tell you something, though.
Okay.
I don't think the team, as depicted, was as terrible as portrayed. And it came off a lot of times like it was forced. In addition, the story also kind of seemed forced, as well as nothing really flowed from the usual progression of asshole drunk coach to the best coach ever. This story is cookie cutter sports movie.
True.
Of the losers get a win.
True.
Like, say, Cool Runnings or Snow Dogs or, I don't
Snow
know,
Dogs.
Miracle or
Miracle, okay.
any one of those other ones.
Air
Air Bud. Pick it out of a hat.
Air Bud 3.
Exactly.
Air Bud 4.
It all doesn't really make
Air
a
Bud
difference.
5.
Air Bud goes to space.
And Air Bud goes to space. And Air Bud dies because he's dead now because he couldn't have lived that long. And because it's Taika, does it really make a difference? Also, the story didn't feel like it had any heart whatsoever to it.
Really?
And I am a huge Michael Fassbender fan. Fassbender fan.
Wow.
And it's not often I feel he doesn't make a movie better just by being in it. But in this, he was the worst thing that was in this movie.
Really?
And for the most part, I felt absolutely nothing every single time he was on screen. I'm thinking maybe Taika is spending too much time in Disney Studios, has him forgetting how to create dynamic characters who you actually care about. By the end, I really didn't care about anyone or anything in this story. And the corny acting that Taika is known for just started to annoy me so badly. I just absolutely hated every single character in it by the time I got it.
Wow. I really liked them.
I didn't hate this sports biopic as much as I normally hate sports movies, biopics, or even sports biopic movies. But I'm sorry, Taika, I still hated it, even though I did laugh 2 times.
I laughed
and
a
mostly because of some of the Kiwi regulars like Rachel House and Oscar Knightley.
Yeah.
But the humor was mostly a miss and not funny whatsoever. This is still a rage, even with Taika.
Yeah.
And the whole story of Fassbender's character was not really fleshed out. And so when he finally turns around, it feels rushed and fake. And yeah, this was truly awful. And I've got other things to say, but I want to hear what Murray has to say about it. I have a favorite. I have a favorite scene in the movie, but I want to hear what Murray has to say.
It lasts about 3 seconds.
That's an interesting. So Taika's gone off of everything.
Yeah, rightfully so. This movie was awful.
It wasn't awful.
It was. I hated every single thing about it, especially the acting.
It wasn't awful.
It was terrible.
It was still funny, but it was
nothing.
Taika's gone Hollywood.
Murray, what do you think?
Taika Waititi, what the hell has happened to you? You know, a Taika film is going to be bad when he puts himself in the story as the narrator, and then he plays a ridiculous character.
Yeah, it makes no sense for the movie.
No, he could have been. Didn't even have to be in the movie at all. But he had to put himself in there.
Who cares? It's a sports movie.
I was looking forward to this based on the trailer. Like,
so was I.
It looked funny when I watched it. I'm like, oh, good. Maybe he'd make a good movie suddenly. I actually enjoy sports underdog story now and then.
So do I.
Cool Runnings, The Replacements, Rudy, Bad News Bears,
maybe I don't.
Major League, etc.
I like Major League.
I don't like any of those.
Of course, the only funny moments of the movie were in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Okay, the dude getting hit by a bus was hilarious.
That was good, yeah.
That was the one time I laughed out loud.
You guys are being hard on Taika.
No way.
The film
was
just cringe.
It was horrible.
I normally like Fassbender, but this one was a turkey. Just in time for American Thanksgiving. What I still don't get, and I don't know if anybody can explain it to me, what the hell Fassbender's character did to get banished to the worst football club in the world. By his wife and her lover. Like, the fact that it was his wife who's like banging his boss.
Yeah.
And they banished him to America Samoa. I mean, it's a nice island and everything, but he was like in the major leagues.
They're trying to help him out.
Soccer.
They did touch upon that. He was going. Yes, they did, because he was going through his personal issues and he wasn't able to concentrate. Yeah, they totally did.
They didn't explain shit.
Yes,
they didn't say why
did.
He had
you guys weren't watching the movie.
No, we watched the movie. There was. Anyway, keep going, Mur.
Speaking of, how is Elizabeth Moss an actor?
Because
she is absolutely horrible with
I
zero
agree.
personality.
Do you remember she was in Invisible Man, Bryce? Do we remind you?
Case in point.
Yeah. Remember when she was in that?
Will Arnett was wasted in this. Both the
That
character
So was
and
Rhys
his
Darby.
acting skills.
So was Rhys Darby.
Rhys
But
Darby
he was funny every time he opened his mouth. He only opened his mouth twice, though.
And actually, Armie Hammer was supposed to do that part until he got into all kinds of legal trouble.
He did get into
Imagine
trouble.
how much worse this would have
What?
been without
Oh,
Will
God.
Arnett.
What, did he get a jaywalking ticket?
No, it was
It was a lot of creepy stuff, like I
the
think
bad
dead
kind
animals
that
and
gets you canceled.
raping people and stuff. I don't know.
What?
I don't remember.
I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, he had to drop out of the movie
Sex dungeon,
and pretty
maybe?
much Hollywood in general.
Who doesn't have a sex dungeon?
Yeah, but
Exactly.
your sex dungeon critters are like
Yeah.
agreeable to the situation. It's different.
They're willing.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah,
what it's-
I guess we're lucky we were spared his terrible acting.
Yeah.
Did the MCU destroy Taika's creativity?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I totally am on board with that.
Yeah.
Can't believe this movie was made by the same guy
Yeah.
who created the witty What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Hunt
And
for the
Boy.
Wilder
How about he
People.
made
Hunt
Boy?
for the Wilder
Jojo
People.
Rabbit.
Boy.
Yeah.
Jojo
And
Rabbit.
my favorite Thor movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a Mondo. You gave it a Mondo, so quit doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he peaked with Ragnarok and his talent died with Asgard.
Yeah, I'm 100% agreement.
This script is one of the laziest in years.
Yep.
It
It's
was
a sports
based
movie.
on a true story, and there was a documentary about it.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
So what did Taika add besides a few obvious jokes and some cheap references?
That's
Yeah.
all you need.
Near the end, it tried to get serious and get some of the characters some story development.
I cared.
Too little, too late.
Yep.
Sadly, I have to give Taika's latest effort a rage.
Yes, Murray.
I
Yes.
am now ready to take him
It was
off or add him to any list. I think I'm
He's
done
gone.
with this Kiwi.
Hey,
Yeah.
he was gone with my meh because his last movie was a mess. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I know. Well,
I was just
he's
so-
going out with style. This movie is probably the worst sports movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
I wouldn't go that
I know
far,
I've
but
said
it's
that about the
pretty
last Ben
bad.
Affleck sports
Yeah.
movie, but this one is way
Okay,
worse.
number one, Ben Affleck doesn't make bad.
Oh yeah,
sports
he does.
movies.
That was so
mean that
completely.
basketball
Ben
one?
Affleck's presence alone makes the movie worth watching.
No,
so let's
that
just
makes it-
let's
makes
The
it
just-
cringy
Nike, the Nike
decent.
one was bad?
Nike one was okay.
Well, that was his last sports movie, wasn't it?
Well,
No,
was
that's
it-
a shoe.
It was kind of
shoe
wasn't
movie.
really a
No,
sports
but it was
movie.
about Michael Jordan.
But it was about a shoe. It was more about a shoe. It was more about a shoe.
He was in it.
Yeah.
was
No,
more
it
about-
was the
which
one
made
where
me-
he was.
It was
and-
more about the business of selling things to put on people's feet.
That's right.
There was still
Yeah,
sports
you know,
involved.
here's the one thing that I can say I liked about this movie, and I think it was what's her name?
Rachel House.
Yeah, that said it.
Hmm.
The best, and this is the best line. And the
Okay.
only thing worth seeing is this line. Find it on YouTube.
Okay.
Drawings of boobs are a gateway to the real thing.
Yes.
That was the only good line in
That's
this
a
whole
great
movie.
line.
I hated the dialogue in this. I hated
come
the acting.
on.
When Michael Fassbender gets to the top of that mountain that they all climb together,
Yeah.
that was the worst acting I've ever seen in my entire life. It was either between him or Elizabeth Moss that was like, who could make this worse?
Yeah.
Those two
Whatever.
were so completely bad.
Oh, they were terrible.
And every single, like, there was no character development by anybody, and the story was just thrown together in a big pile of shit.
the only character
the fact that you gave this a man makes
I liked it.
makes me ask you, what the hell did you do while I was gone? That's what I
was
want to
alright.
know. Apparently, this sex dungeon of yours, someone's fucking your brains out. Apparently.
It's not bad.
Okay, well, speaking of turkeys, let's talk about Thanksgiving.
Of turkeys.
All right.
And I'll tell you what I'm thankful for.
What?
I'm thankful for Black Friday crazy sales where people are trampled to death to open the story of Thanksgiving and brings us the latest Eli Roth film. Now, I can't
hell
say...
of an opening.
Yeah. I can't say I have absolutely loved his last few movies, but I can tell you in this one, he creates a great homage to the great holiday murder films of the past, but freshly stuffed with practical effects, gore horror humor, and a whodunit to what takes us to the end of the movie to have it revealed who the killer is.
It was Murray.
Yeah, it was
Right.
Yeah,
It was me.
exactly. The The gore in this is outstanding. With amazing,
Was it?
yes, the amazing fresh baked goodness to chew on, including a perfectly cooked meal I'm sure all horror lovers will enjoy. This has all the regular tropes of the slasher genre, but in my opinion, intellectually written and lots of well-developed characters to kill and root for. It was a horror gore fest / tastic holiday event I'm actually excited about seeing a sequel to. Cause
What?
absolutely it's coming to a cinema for next Christmas for sure.
What?
And just like the pumpkin pie that is sold at Costco for Thanksgiving, this was huge and it was also Mondo. I freaking loved this movie.
What?
I had sort of misgivings going to it, but I loved the story. I thought the characters were all well developed. I thought the gore was fantastic, and I think it was a good fresh spin from Eli Roth. I haven't loved his last few things. I have some unpacking, but let's hear what you guys have to say.
Do you know how long I've been waiting for this film?
Me too.
What?
16 years.
Is that how long it's been?
Why?
It seems like
because you
longer.
saw the
fake
short
trailer in
Oh, the
2007
trailer's so
during
good.
Grindhouse.
Hey, we got the same review. That's what I'm opening with too.
That's Murray?
Senseless, bloody violence, and a huge kill count.
Yes.
That's the movie I wanted to see.
Yes.
Thank you, Murray.
This movie is not that.
What?
Yo, it isn't. Thank you,
What?
It's
The merman speaking, Jim. Let him
we
talk.
actually agree on something. That's scary.
Apparently, you're not letting.
Turns out, the director Eli Roth abandoned that idea. I looked this up
Uh-huh.
because they were going to do that version.
Yep.
This is a more scaled down and tame version,
It's family friendly.
like every horror film these days.
I don't think
Yes,
this was
indeed.
family friendly.
Oh, what the hell it wasn't.
Oh, I'm
It
sorry.
was.
It was Pabla, man.
No way. This was. There's no way family friendly is watching a
Well,
lady
okay,
get
it's
baked
not
to death in
PG
an oven.
horror, but-
And
Let Murray
they cut
talk,
a
Jim.
chunk of her leg off to.
Whatever.
Okay, keep going, Murray.
It seems filmmakers are afraid of actually scaring their audiences these days. All this film did was make me very afraid of going to American Black Friday sales.
Yes.
That was such a good scene, but
Yeah, the first 10
the
minutes.
first
was
10
awesome.
minutes, I was like, all right, I'm in, and then
Then there was too slow of a build-up. Like most lame horror films, nearly
preach on, brother.
every single character in the film is instantly unlikable.
Yes, I love that.
That's all. Right.
Unfortunately, not enough of them died.
Yeah,
In particular, the skeevy patriarch and greedy owner of the Right Mart,
I like him.
played by Rick Hoffman, who plays so many slime balls
He's so good
that
at
I
it.
literally want to punch his face if I ever met him.
Yeah.
So he's doing his job.
He is doing
Like
his
literally,
job.
I've seen him in over a dozen things.
Yeah.
He plays
Yes.
an asshole in
He's so
everything
good. He's so
he's
good at
ever
it.
been in.
Hey, man.
In real life, he's literally the
And
nicest
I don't
guy
think-
that's ever
I don't
lived.
know if he is. I
He
think
is.
He's that bad of an
I'm
actor.
telling
I
you,
think
he
he's
is.
terrible.
He is that nice of a
Anyway.
guy.
He's
No,
like
he is a very punchable
he's
face.
like
Put it
low
that
rent
way.
Tom Hanks, man.
The rest of the cast, apart from McDreamy Dempsey and the too short cameo by Gina Gershon, is made up of YouTube and Instagram talentless hacks.
Yes.
I'd want to carve them up too.
Carve them all up.
Speaking of, who the hell is John Carver, and why would you want to wear a mask of his face?
It's Thanksgiving.
Boring.
Thanksgiving.
Why don't wear a turkey on your head?
Yes.
That's stupid. There were a few good kills.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough to make this entertaining.
All right.
Lead actress just annoyed me and had way too much screen time. I really wish filmmakers would stop casting untalented social media personalities in their films.
Oh, is that what she was?
Nice.
Well, she wasn't, but a few of them other ones were.
Yeah, okay.
Considering there are thousands of starving actors in Hollywood with
Yes.
actual acting talent and training.
And some that aren't starving.
Well, but the fact is that they're actually all talent.
Yes.
They've been trained to act, unlike these YouTube people. The cast basically ruined the film for me, considering this was an Eli Roth feature, who usually does better.
Yep.
Okay.
Luckily, Patrick Dempsey saves this for me.
Okay.
What? Okay, now you're losing me,
I
Murman.
won't give out spoilers, but his character is by far the most entertaining.
Okay.
Not quite a rage,
Okay.
but a bland, tasteless meh.
All right.
I
Well,
find it highly ironic that this slasher film, based on an American holiday, was filmed in Canada.
nice. Even better.
Yes.
I still loved it.
disappointed.
All right. What'd you think?
All right, Eli Roth finally makes the film I have been waiting for.
Wait, that's what Murray said.
I know. So, yeah. I've been hoping this would get made ever since I saw the trailer that was part of the Grindhouse
Wait, that's what Murray said.
that played between Planet Terror and Death Proof. If you went to the double feature in cinema all
Yes.
those years ago. Never thought it would get made, but here I am reviewing Thanksgiving. The film starts strong with the mayhem that ensues at a Black Friday sale. Now, as with any slasher film, the quality of the kills will dictate the quality of the film. Fast forward 1 year later, and a murderer is taking out the townsfolk, with a John Carver mask.
Yeah.
One by one that were involved in the Black Friday debacle. The kills are mostly inventive and fun.
Yes.
For lack of a better expression, but
Yep.
just with any horror movie these days, the gore and violence is toned down in an attempt, I can only assume, to get a more inclusive rating. This is especially evident in the trampoline scene. If you saw the Grindhouse trailer, you know exactly what I mean. Overall, Thanksgiving was fun, but a little disappointing.
What?
As Eli Roth catered to the masses when he should have been catering to me and me alone. Well, and apparently Murray.
Apparently Murray.
So yeah, no, Thanksgiving was a meh. It was just a meh. I didn't hate it, but it was just blah.
I loved it.
It was just so
it was
blah.
just what I
And
needed
it
after
wasn't-
watching the Taika Waititi
Well,
movie.
you had to go home for a couple of weeks. So after dealing with family for 2 weeks, I could see how you'd want to like this movie.
Yeah, I needed some murder, and
Something,
this.
yeah.
See, I found I'm gonna agree with you guys. The acting was not stellar,
all terrible.
but you know what? I don't expect that from a slasher
You
film.
don't necessarily need that in a slasher
you should
film,
at
but you
least-
need.
Cheer for the heroine, and
See,
I didn't. I want her to die.
I was okay with that. I was
I
okay
was
with
okay-
everybody dying too.
Yeah, I was okay with that too. Well, everybody
But they
didn't
didn't,
die.
though.
No, I know.
And there
That's the
wasn't.
problem.
It wasn't. I don't know.
See, I thought the characters
It was
were
so
still.
tame.
Yep.
Tame to the point that parts of it were kind of lame. Like it's like,
I thought
dude.
the thermometer scene. Come on, the thermometer scene when he's
There's
baking.
some
When he's
good
baking,
stuff.
that was
was
awesome.
kinda
That
funny.
was freaking
That was
awesome. When
There
it
was some
pops
good
up,
stuff.
I'm like, that is good.
But all in all,
did a bing too, but it didn't.
I
Yeah.
was.
Oh, it made the pop sound when a
Yeah.
thermometer
Not a
pops
bing,
out.
but-
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah. Like that was. I completely lost my shit in the movie theater when that happened. Because that's one of those things I always forget to check with the turkey. Is it done? Oh, it's done. There goes the pop. Yeah.
There
No,
goes the
I really thought this. I understand the tameness of it, but there were scenes in this that were definitely not tame. Like the whole first 10 minutes was not tame at all. The one lady lost her skull.
No, the first
Yeah.
And even the scene where they murder.
What was this rated? I think it must have been 14A.
I may have been 14.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be 14A.
And that's the whole thing. I'm sick of 14A horror. Just stop.
Yes.
Just stop right now.
Either go R.
No,
or
it's
don't
rated
bother.
18A.
How is this rated
In
18A?
the
Apparently it is.
I've been telling people with like 4-year-old kids, take them. It's a
go to the
family-friendly
movie.
This is
film.
not a family.
It totally is. Bring
you're-
the whole family.
you're-
Grandma, grandpa.
You're used to watching Human Centipede, so this is definitely not family friendly.
It's all about the family.
It's all about the family, though.
I'm telling you.
The John Carver
Bring
family.
the kids. They'll love it.
It's tasty.
I would recommend taking them to a real
Oh,
Black Friday
I'm re-looking
sale.
at the trailer right now too, where he sticks her face in the water and then he sticks her face onto the
Yeah.
inside of the freezer
Yeah.
and peels her face off. There was some really good scenes in this. I don't know what you're talking about. I freaking love this movie.
Lame.
Oh, you're.
I didn't hate it though. It was
No,
okay.
I didn't hate it. Just it
I was
wasn't-
just I was
wanted
just
more.
I was just
I wanted
disappointed.
more.
I want to
wanted
watch
more.
it again.
You're waiting for like what was it? 16?
16 years.
16 years you wait for
2007.
something. I want better than this.
Okay. Well, I
was so thrilled when I
completely
saw.
forgot
I'm like,
about
holy
the trailer.
crap! He's actually making
I mean,
this.
they made good movies based on the fake trailers for Machete and Hobo
Yeah.
with a Shotgun.
Maybe
They
that's
couldn't do the same with this one.
yeah, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe the fact that I remembered the trailer and I was so
Yes.
stoked about it.
Yeah.
Because I think if you go back and watch the trailer, you're gonna be disappointed in this movie.
No, I
so.
still enjoyed this. There still had, to me, this had enough kills. It had enough stupidity that I always expect from slasher. It had a really good sort of whodunit type of thing through the movie. It wasn't as obvious. I couldn't figure it out completely until, 20 minutes left in the movie. So for me, this was
I will admit that part actually kept me guessing.
Yeah, to me, the writing in this was
intentionally-
solid.
From what I read, he intentionally used different actors in every scene, so you couldn't guess who it was.
Yeah,
Like
no, I
different
think
body types and everything.
yeah.
just so you
I
couldn't
mean,
tell who it was.
when you look at a Puro film compared to this, to me, this is like this is the best whodunit I've seen this year. Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the Hunger Games. And yes, we do.
Why wouldn't we want to talk about it?
Yeah, why wouldn't we want to
The
talk
number
about it?
one movie in North America.
That's right. It's huge. And
It's huge.
It beat
and
Trolls.
there's two mesmerizing actors in this.
There sure is. Okay, I don't remember anybody's names, so just bear with me with
That's
this
okay.
review.
Don't worry about it.
So, Hunger Games: A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This prequel to the Hunger Games film follows that Snow guy.
Snow Guy.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland
It's not Donald Sutherland. He becomes Donald
That's right.
Oh,
Sutherland.
that's what I mean.
It's
Same
kind of
character.
yeah.
Okay. So the Snow guy who becomes Donald Sutherland in the movies that take place in the later timeline.
Yes.
It is an interesting place these people live in. In their world, you can get stabbed and impaled by various things, and you won't lose one drop of blood. Apparently, these people don't bleed. Anyhow, the performances are all fine, the story's moderately interesting, and perhaps a little better than the first series of films, in my opinion.
Humble opinion.
Yes.
Wait,
No-
are you saying you're humble?
I think I'll leave that for others
to
to
me?
judge. So, as I was saying, a little better than the first series of films. So that may make this awesome or terrible, depending on your opinion of those first films. And if you were hoping they would make Hunger Games the musical, then you will be really, really happy with this one, as there is a lot of singing in it. But back to the cast
Yeah,
and
Murray.
the development of the characters. It was actually quite good, especially the contrast from that Snow guy and the Dinklage character guy.
The Dinklage guy?
That was like teaching them
Teacher
stuff.
dude guy? Mm-hmm.
As they start on opposite sides of a similar character arc, and by the end, they ended up where the other was.
They're reversed.
Yeah, what we first perceive as a good guy becomes the opposite, and vice versa. It was kind of an interesting little dynamic to the film. Oh, and of course, there is Viola Davis as, I don't know, creepy lady that's in charge of stuff.
Yeah.
What's her name?
What was her name in the movie?
Yeah.
Professor Donegal or something?
Anyways, doesn't matter. You'll probably mention it at some point, maybe. I don't know. Who cares? She chews up the scenery in most of her scenes, and when her mannerisms and delivery aren't doing it, her makeup and wardrobe is. Plus, singing girl, whatever her name was, she was okay. I kind of liked her.
Good old singing girl. Lucy Gray Baird,
Yeah.
played by Rachel Zegler.
Yeah, her. And she kind of convinced me that she just might make Snow Guy somewhat human.
Yeah.
Whatever, Snow Guy.
Snow Guy?
What's Snow Guy's name?
Corleanus Snow. Corleanus.
Corleanus Snow. Yeah.
Corleanus Snow.
She's like, she might make him. I believe this. Maybe he's gonna turn out to be a good guy, and maybe in like part 2 of this, he becomes a prick.
Yeah.
Cause she was nice. I liked her.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't hate this. It was meh.
Okay. So when I saw the trailer when it came out, I was not excited to see this.
This was so much better than I thought it was going to be. But you go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Even though I loved the books, and I truly enjoyed the story and concept of the original story, unlike Bryce.
I hated those movies.
I have always had a soft spot for fantasy films, and this franchise straddles the realm of fantasy and action adventure, which are definitely ones that, if done right, normally can entertain and win me over. Now,
yes,
back to this particular prequel to the original trilogy of books. I have not read this book like I did the other trilogy franchise, and I felt the original trilogy did bookend the franchise, so I figured it was a closed book. See how I keep saying book here? I see. And
that.
Apparently,
so this could only be a disaster then.
Our world lives on sequels and prequels now. Yes. So I guess this was inevitable that this book was written. After all, the original made a ton of money.
It did do that.
I wasn't sure how and why they would need to make this film.
Did it make a metric ton or an imperial ton?
I would say an imperial, because usually, imperial miles are longer than kilometers, so it made a lot of money.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad we established that.
Yep. It is now 10 years into the Hunger Games, but to my surprise, the story they tell in this is complex.
Do you think they'll do a prequel to the prequel then?
Maybe.
That'll be awesome.
Well, as long as we get more Peter Dinklage, I don't care.
Yes.
Yeah. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Sorry. The story they tell in this is complex and layered with characters that are not one-dimensional. The film takes us to the origins of Coriolanus Snow / Donald Sutherland, the evil dictator from the original films, and his evolution from potential good guy to the path that brought us to this madman we grew to despise in the original trilogy. Kind of like Darth Vader in Star Wars, huh?
Kinda.
Did you kind of feel that? It had a little bit of a Star Wars vibe?
Yeah. I was, towards the end, I thought they were just going dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, so did I. That's exactly what I was saying.
That would have been so good. We should have just done that.
Now we're going to get super
Then it would have been Mondo.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Anyways, keep on going.
The story I found interesting and engulfing, and I was also fond of the twist that takes. Yes, it was a bit predictable, but it had enough differences that kept you on your feet and surprised by how the full story unfolds. Every one of the actors in this were, in my opinion, outstanding, especially our two mesmerizing actors of Viola Davis and Peter Dinklage.
They were so good.
And a surprise to see Jason Schwartzman in this playing young Flickerman.
Every time I see him, I love him now.
I know. I
always did, but now he's so much better than he was before, and he was awesome before.
Well, Rushmore is still my favorite film of him in. So
these are my OR scrubs. Oh. Are they?
Yes. I can't lie. I have a weakness for this franchise. I didn't want there to be a prequel or a sequel and was afraid of what they might give me. I wasn't disappointed, and I really, really liked what they did with it.
Yep.
Yes, there's a few things that I might change. And it is a story for teen / young adults, but I think it's well done and well crafted. I really, really, really liked it. Liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But I guess that makes it a meh.
It does.
So it was a double meh on
this one. It was so much meh.
It appears that Suzanne Collins hasn't written the sequel to this book / story yet. But I have a feeling we'll be seeing the next one in this franchise, and I'm not as afraid as I was to see this one.
Yeah, I was so pleasantly surprised by this. Honestly, I was dreading this because I wasn't a fan of the first. I mean, I didn't hate him. I think the first one would have been a meh for me, and then it kind of was diminishing returns for me, and I was pretty much raging by the end of the series. But this was good. It was good.
It was a really well written story,
and as you mentioned, the characters are quite well developed. And as I say, the thing that took me, I mentioned in my review, but the way that, even though Dinklage isn't really like a main character, there is this weird thing between him and Coriolanus that they kind of start at opposites, but like when you're introduced to them, one's seems like a really good guy.
Yeah, and
the other one seems like a real douchebag. And as we get into the story, they start to, kind of meet in the middle, and then they go the other way. And by the end of it,
it did a really good job of taking because Snow's character in the original franchise is just deplorable. Everybody hates him, right? And you didn't see the original trilogy, did you, Murray?
Of course I did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I saw them all.
Yeah, you're a big Donald Sutherland fan, so yeah. And you kind of do really hate
Hemsworth in it too.
Yeah.
Who?
Hemsworth.
Well, the younger Hemsworth.
What's a Hemsworth?
The brown-haired Hemsworth. The brown-haired Hemsworth.
Should I know this name?
Thor Jr.
It's Thor Jr. Exactly, it's Thor Jr.
Thor Jr.
I actually really did like it. I the only thing I think that kind of got to me is, and maybe it's because I had such a fondness for the books because I read the books and I haven't read this one, but I think it was that I did kind of feel it was very much crafted for that younger audience.
A little bit, but
and so I think maybe
weren't the books?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I for whatever reason, it was an original story to me. The first Hunger Games was such an original concept.
Right.
And so because the original concept is over, they did craft a really good story here and I really did enjoy it. But I think it's lost that love and feeling because
that love
exactly because of the fact it's not an original concept anymore.
Yeah.
And that goes back to a lot of what my thoughts are on any the trilogy was there because there was 3 books. This one, did we need it? No. Am I glad they did it now after I've seen it? Yeah. Yes. And will I watch the next one?
And what's even better is this has got to be setting up for Hunger Games on Broadway.
That's right, 100%. There were some pretty good singing scenes in this.
There's no way that Hunger Games on Broadway isn't going to be a thing.
It could be on right now. Murray,
it could be.
You're the Broadway king. Find out.
I tell you.
All right, so how did Merman do this week?
He went 1 for 6 there, Jim.
Wah, wah.
He got your rage on next goal wins, and then he completely missed the rest of the way. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yeah, he did, because he thought you would give the Thanksgiving a meh. So, 1 for 6.
Well, no, didn't. Oh, because you said you were going to rage at Thanksgiving?
You said I was going to rage, and I'm at it. I went meh. I was meh.
It was a pretty meh. It was a pretty meh week for you.
I didn't hate anything.
It was almost a fully rage week for Murray.
Yes.
So disappointed with you guys.
Well, no,
get in line, Mur.
You nailed it with Next Goal Wins because that truly was the worst movie. That's going to make my worst 5 movies of the year.
Really?
Oh,
You're a little too nice about it, but
I like it.
I can't even fathom.
I found.
Okay, so just tell me one.
I found the characters amusing.
How did they? Okay, but why?
I like the Taika's corny humor still lands with me.
No,
it did, and that's
it was out of place.
Here's the thing. Well, the whole thing is comedy is so subjective, and there's some stuff that's going to land with someone and not land at all with someone else. And it's not that they don't have a sense of humor. It's just sometimes stuff lands and sometimes doesn't. And it just did with me. Maybe it was the mood I was in. Who knows? But
could be, yeah. Because if you watch this with...
I was mildly amused by most of what was going on.
All right. So, and even Michael Fassbender, weren't as annoyed by him?
I wasn't annoyed by him.
Like that scene when
he totally phoned it in, but that's okay. I'll take Michael Fassbender phoning it in. I love the guy. I'd rather that
I have a higher expectation of him.
Yeah, well, I'm like, you know what? Take this one off, Mike.
Can't believe he's the same man that was in Frank. I just can't believe it.
I can't.
All right, well, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
You know what? We haven't heard this music for so long. It feels like it was never going to come again.
Well, I'm telling you, this should be one of the all-time great Murman minutes because he's had about 6 months to prepare.
Yeah.
What do you got for us, Murman?
And yet, much like you, I didn't.
Well, what do you mean? I've been slaving away, man.
Yeah, who hasn't? I've had 3 days off this month.
You know what? I win all of you guys, so we'll leave it there.
All right.
Okay, well, I actually like the Hunger Games series.
Okay.
Mostly because of J-Law and the less attractive Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Less attractive?
I don't like J-Law.
Canada's own Donald Sutherland. You could not pay me to see the new one.
Oh, really?
Why?
Because of one person.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is going to be silly, but what is it?
Rachel Zegler.
What's that? Who is that?
That chick who sang that you liked.
Yeah, she was nice. I liked her.
This
Which
Rachel
absolute waste of space
What's wrong with her?
seems to be on a path to stardom.
Good.
Despite her stupidity
What?
and unfiltered opinions.
What?
Oh.
Even if you ignore the fact that she can't act,
What?
I don't know about that.
she regularly puts her foot in her mouth
Uh-oh.
talking
Well,
to the
who-
media.
Yeah.
In fact, Disney recently put a gag order on her forbidding her from doing interviews.
Nice.
This, of course, came from the incident where she completely trashed the
Yes.
original Snow White,
Okay, well, who
despite
cares?
being cast in the title role of the remake.
Okay, I thought this was going to be bad, but who cares?
No, it gets
Oh,
worse.
does it? Okay.
The new woke Disney's policies are so bad that South Park has made fun of them in their new special,
Yeah,
good.
They did do that.
which she also stupidly came out against.
Okay.
She was the worst thing in the last Shazam movie.
What?
Was she in it?
Yeah, she was.
Yes,
Oh.
it was.
And there's a reason why her co-star won the Oscar for West Side Story and she didn't.
Okay.
I just can't believe people keep
What was the
casting
reason?
her in their films because she can't act.
She can.
She can.
No, she can't.
Yeah, she can.
I
She's
can't believe
fine.
that people keep casting her in their films, and she's now on my list of most
I
loathed.
honestly, when you said she said stuff, I was getting ready for some
Oh no,
like
there's
horrible-
more. There's
okay.
tons. I'm just not going to get into it all.
All right.
Do a little research on the internet, you'll see. She's an idiot.
Okay.
Anyway, she's now on my list of most loathed, right below the bad fleck.
Okay.
Oh, whatever.
Right below him, Bryce. Right below him.
I don't know
Not
what you're.
as bad, but yeah,
Oh, whatever.
she's. Ugh.
I think she's.
You're wrong on both counts.
I think she's
so.
a bit better actor than.
No, you
Ben
don't.
Affleck.
Just
She's
stop it. There's
not.
nobody that's a better actor than Ben Affleck, except nobody.
I could. What's
No.
that thing? He's not even root worthy. He's like
Exactly.
below root worthy.
Exactly.
There's only one Ben Affleck. He's in a
Thank
class
God.
of his own.
Thank God. Yes.
can't even compare
You know what?
anybody to
I would.
no,
him.
there's not.
the-
There's two Afflecks,
wait.
and the other one's just as bad as
No
him.
way. Casey's.
Whatever.
Casey's
Casey's awesome, but he's not as awesome as Ben.
He's more awesome. All right. That was a great Merman minute.
Whatever.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, my sweet, sweet Rage. Ah, I love you so. Taika Waititi used to be one of my favorite directors of all time. And now I have no faith in your abilities whatsoever. That's my rage.
That's fair.
I used to love him. I can't believe this man has made some of the most amazing
He's made
character-driven films
Absolutely.
that have ever been made in the history of film, and he fell in with Disney, and they completely sucked every ounce of talent that is in
Good news
his
for
body.
you then. Next up, a Star Wars movie.
Oh, fuck me
I saw an
now.
interview today with him, and yeah, he's working on a Star Wars
Oh,
movie.
fuck me
That'll
now.
probably be great.
No, there hasn't been a good start.
it
Wait,
Yeah,
hasn't
there
been-
has.
There's only been
Rogue
one.
One.
There's only been one
Yeah,
good
for you.
Star
Rogue
Wars.
One's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's,
Because it has Riz Ahmed in it. So, yeah, my
Riz
rage is
Ahmed.
Taika Waititi. I used to love you. I love a lot of your films,
I still
and now
love
I
him.
have zero faith in your abilities to come back from the last two films that you've made.
so now he's in that category where he can pleasantly surprise you. It's a nice
he
place
hasn't
to
yet.
be.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that.
I don't know how anybody can rage about Taika Waititi. That's like raging against Winnie the Pooh.
He's
It
awesome
makes
dude.
no
He just
sense.
can't make movies anymore.
Man, if you watch that movie, anybody who watched that last movie, except you apparently, is going to hate that movie because it's terrible.
What's my rage?
I don't know. You tell me. Why don't you?
I don't know what my rage is.
So you got really nothing to rage about?
Well, I mean, if I was going to rage about something, it would be that PG-13 Thanksgiving effort that apparently is 18A, which I don't understand why, because you bring your kids to it.
There's a lot of graphic gore in that movie.
I think that you could take this movie and show it to a kindergarten class, and it would be fine, because there's nothing in it that's
oh my God,
objectionable.
The skull-crushing scene with her hair ripped off.
Whatever.
The scene, like I could just list 10 different scenes from that movie that
Anyways,
makes it 18A.
very disappointed in the lack of gore in this. And
I was pleasantly surprised by everything about your rage this week. I don't know where you were the last week, but you are.
This did not live up to the expectation I had from the trailer. So,
That's right.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's always a bummer. I can tell you that.
super bummer. And not the trailer for the actual movie, the trailer for
The actual
from 16
original.
years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go watch that when I get home tonight.
So there you go. So that's my rage.
All right.
I don't even remember what my rage was. I just
The trailer.
Right, Eli
was
Roth
better
and
than-
all that Thanksgiving
I mean,
stuff.
we could rage a lot about Eli Roth's talent over the years because I think he's made a couple of really good films, and then most of his films are kind of like,
well,
whatever.
that's the thing about Eli Roth. He's definitely got the ability.
Yeah.
And every now and then you really see it, and then you also like.
See, I really saw it in this one. This was my favorite Eli Roth movie he's ever made.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was.
I like the first 10 minutes.
I liked the first 2 hours of it.
And then it got kind of boring.
Yep.
Nope.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Oh man, I've been dreading this moment.
It's all you guys.
Well, I mean, you never know. We might not agree.
Yeah, well, I have a proposal. So
I have circled mine. by the
okay,
way.
well, so
What's your proposal? It's
My-
going to be silly, probably.
probably.
Let's hear it.
But let's hear it. But wait, let's first tell our listeners. This is our list segment. Go check out our website at filmrageyyc.com and check out our page called The Lists.
The Lists.
In the lists, we have 5 categories. We have the mesmerized.
True.
We have the repulsive.
True.
We have the doubted, and we have the undoubted.
Also
and now
true.
we also have a list of people that were mesmerizing, who took them off, and why. So go
What?
check that out.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing. Remember we did all the homework for it?
Oh, I thought we were just doing it for fun.
No. It's on our website now.
Really?
Yeah, of course it is.
Huh.
And so now I'm actually upkeeping it now because I'm the one that does the website. So if you hate it, don't say anything to me because I'm also social media. So
Social media.
here's my proposition in this.
I didn't even know we were on social media.
Yeah.
You don't have to walking around.
You don't have it. You know what? You're just trying to sidebar me because you don't want to hear my proposal.
Okay, let's hear
So-
your idiot proposal.
It is a really bad proposal.
Okay, what is it?
But the reason I'm giving you this because they were never on the screen really together.
Yeah, they were.
They were just that one scene.
They were in
It was just one. It was just one scene, and they really weren't because it was like a tag team. It's like Dinklage handed it off to Davis,
Yeah.
and then she did her thing. So they weren't really both standing side by side, giving us full on. Because here's the thing: I could not decide between the two of them. I've
could.
never seen this. I mean, I was definitely going Viola Davis for 90% of the movie, and then Dinklage's final scene was so good, and I thought he played the role that he was set up for fantastically.
He was pretty much flawless.
Yeah, so that's why I can't decide. So I can't say
Oh
one
my
or the
god,
other.
that is such a cop out, Jim.
I've never said that before. Have I ever said that before?
Yeah, but it's still a cop out. Anyways, Dinklage was the more mesmerizing.
I see. I thought
Viola Davis
would.
Viola Davis had a lot of fancy costumes and she had some wild eyes, but you know,
She was also wackadoo.
she was wackadoo, but it was it was. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed her performance, but Dinklage sucked me in. I cared with Dinklage, and I was hanging on everything Dinklage was saying. Every now and then, I was just like rolling my eyes with Viola Davis.
See, I wasn't doing that with her. Like, I would have actually. I couldn't.
She was great, and
she was completely mesmerizing when she was on screen, though.
Nah,
like Snowboy, you were like whatever. You're like they had more scenes together.
Yeah,
it's like Snowboy didn't exist when she was on the screen.
Snowboy didn't exist when he was with Dinklage either. It was just the way it was.
Well, it's true.
And Snowboy did a fine job, but he just can't hang with those two.
No,
who can?
No one. Well, that's why.
Okay, whatever.
I would have leaned to Viola Davis just because I think Dinklage was mesmerizing.
Okay, well then just say Viola Davis, because now you know that I've said Dinklage and you'll get what you want. Nobody's off. So just say it.
Okay, I say Viola
There we go. I say Dinklage. Everybody stays Jim's
on.
happy.
Well, it's not so much happy. It's just that I did care about both of their characters. Her from an evil perspective.
I did too.
She was super evil.
But
he was super Dinklage.
And Dinklage was just so good.
Super Dinklage.
Yeah, Viola Davis was kind of almost relying on her costumes more than and her makeup.
I didn't feel that. I think the difference, this is my opinion, is I think the difference between the two was Davis's character was an animated character, and Dinklage's character was not played to animated. Dinklage's character was played for strength of character, and so that was what made it hard because they're playing completely. Viola Davis's character is more of a cartoon version, inclusive of everything about it.
Staying on the Mesmerized List is easy.
But that's what I'm saying is
got to make the hard decisions sometimes.
Well, I did. I said I would rather have seen Viola Davis in this than Peter Dinklage. But I didn't want to say that.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yes.
Is you liking Next Goal Wins. No, it's really terrible. No, it's terrible.
It's fun.
And you're also terrible.
A little fun movie. A little fun.
No.
I had a little bit of fun.
No, I had no fun except for that one line.
I had some fun.
Let me just repeat the line.
Yes, please do, because that was one of many lines that was entertaining.
It was the only line.
I enjoyed it as well.
I laughed twice. This was one.
Well, lay it on.
Drawings of boobs are a gateway to the real thing.
This is so good.
That was a good line.
There were so many lines that were just as good as that.
No, that was the one line. And then Murray's point of the other thing was the other thing I laughed at. What was that thing, Murray?
Guy hit by a bus.
Yeah, the guy getting hit by a bus. Those are two things.
They went to recruit a new player. He's like, yeah, I'll see you at practice. 2 seconds later, he gets hit by a bus.
That and the boobs.
Funny.
Those two things, right, Murr?
Yeah.
That was it.
That wasn't it.
That was it.
Yep. And you know what? We're going to end it so that you can't say any more. Because Murray and I were right in this one.
Right.
Whatever. I'll talk if I want to talk.
That's it. That's all I got. That's all we got to say. No one leaves this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Apparently, because I'm an idiot. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks, Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. And there's a sale on, so buy your grandma some granny panties with Film Rage's face on it. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 please make us a rage. That's it for this week. A rage on.
Rage on.